Play it.
Yeah, that's right. Let's make sure we consent to this so that nothing untoward happens. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Boy, you did a good job there of keeping moving along, keeping the timing all together,
Yeah.
and also a really good job on bringing out those three melody notes on each of the, like getting them, so those are all coming out pretty nicely. The bass notes are coming out pretty good. A couple times you missed this, right? Just the last note. You just
Yeah.
got to remember, but you got it right half the time, and that's not a big deal. This one always sounded good. When you do the C one, still keep working on. I still barely ever heard the first string on those ups in there. I heard more of this, right? Never really heard this. So really, really follow through a little bit more on those downstrokes so that up definitely hits the first string on every up. Then practice the C part to the F sometimes, just strumming them because again that's what happens during the singing. He doesn't play the melody in there. So after you've run through the intro maybe a couple of times, and I would say every time in the intro do this, and end with the open A. So think of that as like one way of running through the whole thing. And
Right.
then the way you'd accompany the verse is the same on the D. I caught you knocking at my cellar door. Actually, it's even kind of less specific. You don't really need when you're singing, or when you're playing the accompaniment to the singing, whether you're singing or not.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry as much about hearing this. All of those can be a little blurrier. I caught you knocking at my cellar door. See, I'm just taking bigger strokes. You baby, can I have? And then go to the C and don't play anything. And the F. The damage. But then when you get to the F, then when you get to the E, do the same little four-note descent. And that little part. Right? So that hammer-on thing that happens instead of the four single notes on the E
I mean,
is would you want to tie that to the times that you don't do this when you're just playing a C chord and the F chord. Now is the one that has that. So it's just kind of subtle differences between when he's doing it instrumentally and when he's accompanying his voice.
and when he does, when you go through that in the song, so in the verse, um, and you get to that E, and you are you back at that point to the instrumental version, or is that just the next verse right
He
there?
does. The arrangement is he starts it instrumentally, then
Yeah.
sings two verses. So there's back to back verses, verse one and two, and so the first time you do that hammer on thing, you're right into the second verse.
Second verse.
And the second time you do that, and actually, I don't know that this is true necessarily. Whether he's really consistent about only doing the hammer on one when he's singing, that could be a little bit random, but
Hmm.
but the general arrangement is instrumental intro,
Yep.
two verses,
Yep.
instrumental intro,
Yeah.
two more verses,
Yeah.
and then the outro. And all he does in the outro is plays the first four measures and leaves it hanging on the B flat and the bass. So that's how the song ends. It's as if he'd started the intro again after he sang the fourth verse,
Yeah.
and he just gets to the B flat and kind of
Oh
and
yeah.
just leaves it dangling.
Right. Okay.
So that hammer-on stuff on the C. If everything if you followed everything I said there, only happens twice in the whole song.
Yeah.
In the intro and then the second intro, which is between the second and third verse.
Okay.
Never
Okay.
gets to it again.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Now, none of that is crucial, unless you're gonna unless you're gonna play this at an open mic,
Yeah.
which I have one coming up Saturday the 12th. You want to join us
Saturday the 12th.
at probably 5 o'clock our time?
Okay. Saturday the 12th, 5 o'clock your time.
I'll put you on the list now. Regardless of what, you don't have to play anything.
Okay.
But and this is something that we've been doing over the COVID year. We were trying to do this once every 4 or 5 weeks, 5 to 6 weeks, with my campers, with the people that come to the International Guitar Camp. Is to kind of keep them engaged over the year. And then of course we had camp back in September, and so a lot of them expressed the idea. It's like, hey, over the year, could we do a few more of these open mics, virtual open mics, just to kind of stay in touch. They stay in touch with each other anyway, and so. My main student Lisa, who helps me coordinate this, she was here last night for a lesson, and we'd already talked about trying to do one in November, and it just got away from me with health issues and things like that.
Yeah.
And so we picked December 12th as the next one. So I'll send it out to like 30 people or so, and 10 or 15 of them might have something they want to play, but many will come in and just watch or just say hello, and anyway. So if you wanna just join us semi-anonymously, although I would introduce you to everybody too and stuff, and who knows, you might decide to join us at camp next year.
Okay.
Besides,
Okay.
so I'll put you on that list.
Yeah. Please put me on the list. If I can, I will.
Yeah, it's just the same thing. It's just a Zoom meeting like this, and
Yep.
it's just that we have 15 or 20 people on, and they usually, if somebody wants to play, I usually put Lisa in charge of that, and so that they would get back to me and say, hey, yeah, I'll play a song, or yeah, no, I'm not going to play a song, and then she kind of puts an order together of who's going to play like when. So,
Oh, okay.
but I would think if you can join us, you'd probably like to watch one first before you decide you're going to jump into it. But
Yeah.
I'm pretty timid about stuff like that. That I'm not 100% confident. So when I go into a room where I don't really know what's going on, even whether it's if it's music related, it's different because I know that it's in my ballpark. But if it's something else, I usually will be a wallflower for a little while until I kind of absorb the situation and
Yeah.
so that's
Yeah.
my MO, which is and completely different from my 33-year-old son's. He's like he just goes in and jumps in regardless. He has no filters, I guess, or no fear of embarrassing himself or anything like that. He just jumps into stuff like that I'm so proud of sometimes. And I think, man, I would not have done that, or something. But
Yeah.
so
I've got, yeah. It's funny. Of my three kids, I have one, the middle one. She's one of those people who can go into any situation and immediately be both comfortable and welcome.
yeah,
Just because she's sort of got that. I don't know what it is. I can't define it.
Hmm.
But my other two are very different. They're different themselves. Each of those two, but the middle one's got that quality. Walk in the room, doesn't matter what the subject is, what the gathering is, or whatever, but she's immediately sort of comfortable and part of the deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your son does this musically though, too?
Yeah, but most of the time he would do that with like, well, he's come to my camp sometimes and just gotten right up on stage and blasted out a song, and everybody loved it. They said, God, and all three of my kids come to the camp and usually play something, and everybody says, God, how are your kids so comfortable on stage playing songs? We're scared to death when we go up there, you know. And I say, some of it is they grew up seeing me play in front of people a lot, but then also my two girls from the times they were 3, 4, 5, 6 years old, were always doing big hula performances. So they were dancing in front of 500, 1,000 people a couple of times a year. And so, I mean, they get a little nervous, but you'd never know it. It's like they because they know they'll survive it, I think.
Yeah.
And so, but anyway, yeah. So they all have no sign of any kind of stage fright, which stuns me, because
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
really stuns my campers because these are all like adults who have been thinking all year how nervous they're going to be when they get up and play in front of the most comfortable audience you could possibly have because it's all people who are doing the same thing, right? It's not like you're walking into a college classroom and trying to entertain a bunch of 25-year-olds who wonder what the hell you're doing here, So it's
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
it's pretty fun.
Exactly. So, what kind of stuff do the people who on your open mic nights? What kind of stuff do they do? Is it singing stuff? Is it playing stuff?
Most of them sing, but probably 10% of them don't and play instrumentals that they've been working on. And many times they'll play. Many times they'll just play stuff they're working on. It doesn't have to be perfected. It's like here's what I've been practicing. I really liked Neil's lesson on Hey Mean Mr. Mustard or something, so I'm trying to get it down. So I'm going to play it a little bit here and see. So it doesn't have to be like polished, ready to go into the recording studio with.
Oh, okay.
Um, Now some people in their head think it does, and they kind of stress themselves out over it, thinking, "Oh, I'm not ready to play that in front of anybody." But this is like playing it in front of your kids or your family or something like that. So it's not an audition. You know.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Well, interesting. Well, if I'm available, I'll watch one. I'd love to see it.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be fun.
And I could send you links to all the like the recent ones we've done too, so you could watch a few of
Oh,
the
okay.
older ones too.
Yeah, please
So
do.
yeah, let me put that down. Open mic links. Okay, so you didn't get confused with. I never heard any of my hey hey while you were playing through that other song.
No, I didn't. I managed to stay focused on the round nature of the pattern and needle and the damage done.
Okay,
I
good.
see that mentally. I see that as kind of going around in a circle. That's
Yeah,
that's what's going on, and with the descending bass line and all. But my hey hey, my hey hey. So what did I could have been could have I could have crossed this up with Murder in the City. That might have been.
ah, okay.
But anyway, this is much rougher. In my hey hey. So the thing in my hey hey is um, for me is trying to get the timing right so that I never lose
Sure.
that because there's a few places in here where I want to stop and pick it up kind of thing, and that's I'm trying to overcome that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There are places where the first time you strum any chord, whether it's the A minor or the G or the F,
yeah.
always happens on what beat?
It always happens on two.
Yeah. And typically you wouldn't want to play on beat 3 there. Like, oh wait a minute. Now what I just did there was on that G chord actually started with the up on the and of 1.
end of one. Yeah.
to lead into the 2. But then I don't think I've ever want to play 3. Oh no, we can't play 3 because 3 is when you start the next melody notes.
Yeah.
Okay, so really when I teach somebody this at first, I usually tell them be real specific about hitting that bass note, the first bass note on 1, strum down on 2,
Yeah.
and then you play the 4 melody notes. So that first measure is, and this is a little non-musical, especially if in the G measure I do the exact same thing. Now in the G measure, we don't play on beat 1 because we played the last melody note on the and of 4.
Right.
Right? So we played this, and then you miss beat 1 like right there. But if you hesitate there because you're thinking of missing beat 1, you're going to be in the wrong place on when you're supposed to hit it.
Right.
So like even there when I show you beat 1, it's right there. It's like I just played that note on the up. If I do this, see I hesitated and then I didn't come in with the stroke at the right time.
Yeah.
So you have to really make sure that you show yourself that fake down on 1. Okay, so that's how I have people always work on this first, is to be real conscious of making sure you don't hesitate on the 1 fake.
Yeah.
And that you hit the 2 really solid. But to
Now,
make
I
it
was-
more,
Okay. Yeah. This is helpful because I was thinking of it as the last melody note on the and of 4 going, well, it basically lasts an entire beat through the and of 1.
right?
Okay, but when I think about it that way, well, anyway, I'll give it a try. I'll see.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, that one's, yeah.
That's okay. Okay. So right there, we'll get back to the F because you're having a little trouble on the F with what's happening there because we'll get back to that first. But so you're doing exactly what I was going to say is like the second phase of this, which is not after the last bass note, which is on the and of 4, not waiting until 2 to do a down, but coming in with a small up on the and of 1.
Yes.
Right? So when you go to the G chord, you actually are doing this. Now, I would try to de-emphasize that up a little bit, not have it sound like this. See how it was real big, that up?
Yeah.
You want that up to be more percussive, that you heard something in there, and then really nail the down. Like, see, you probably barely heard my up there.
Yeah.
You know, but it was there, right? It was really soft on just the top strings.
Yeah.
Clearly different than if I don't hit it at all. This sounds clunky. So if all of those chords just start with a hard down and nothing, not a soft up before them, on the A minor it's okay. And you might even on the A minor 7 of course, do a down, have an up following that down. You know, so but the same thing, it's a little up, just so that we don't hear this 2, 1, 2, to hear 2 so and nothing else around it.
Uh-huh.
So you know, anyway. So see, I did the same thing on the F, starting with a soft up before 2.
Yeah.
So that's you. So you were doing that, and we're going to keep that in there.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Try it again.
let me give it a wing.
Oh wait, one more thing. Let me play it again, just a little slower. I want you to slow it down a little bit, so I want you to get out of your head what you just heard right there. I'd rather have you hear it like this, right? more like about that speed.
Okay.
If that doesn't mess you up too much.
Yeah. Okay.
That was great though.
Yeah, here we go. I'm just not remembering where I'm going. Oh, wait a minute. Something is happening here.
Message from some flounder.
Uh, fan mail from some flounder.
Oh,
I think that was the
oh,
law.
it must have got routed to the wrong place. It was probably meant for me.
Fan mail from some flounder.
Yeah.
It was spam calling me. That's what it was. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. See, it was getting a little better.
Yeah, it was definitely getting better. So the two different ones that lead into the F
Yeah.
are significantly different in how the mechanics work, right?
Yeah.
And the first time you did about three or maybe four of them there, times through. Um, the first one was really mangled. The second run going into the F, but the other two were like perfect. What happened on the first one was you got upside down when you tried to play that little run, you know. But the other two worked out really, and then the strumming on that F, you're pretty solid on, because that second run, you know, the melody starts on an up, right? The leading into it, which means when you get to that last bass note, you're on a beat. You're on beat one.
Right.
Right? And that means that it's real natural then for that strum to come in with solid on two.
Yeah.
Now I think sometimes you might have carried that on a little too long, but we'll get back to fixing that. But that usually I think worked out okay. The one where the first one, it does seem like that strum's a little confused with what's happening there, and I think the answer there is to make sure. When you do that up down, like the up on the end of one,
Hmm.
on the F major 7, and then the down on the 2, I think you want the next stroke to be a down. You do want to put this next stroke down on 3. So
Okay.
it's going to be this. And it doesn't really matter what happens too much after that. But I think you're hesitating a little bit there, and then coming in with an up where it should be a down. So I think you flip the
Yeah.
beats there a little bit sometimes.
So on the F, it's and 2 and 3 and
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
yeah. I think you want to definitely hit down, go down on 3.
Yeah.
Although
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about like an alternative to that too, because if you don't hit that down on 3,
Yeah.
you would come in with the up on the and of 3. Here's what those two things would sound like. So I'll just start with a little run going into it, and this time I'm going to go with the and 2 on the strumming, and then come in strong with 3, and use that as kind of my reference point for how long to stay, you know, to be counting in my head through the next 6 beats. So that would be this: 3, 4, 1. that again. And 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Something like that.
Yeah.
Now, this could also work. So now I'm going to miss 3 and come in with another up on the and of 3. That creates kind of a syncopated offbeat sound.
Yeah.
And it almost felt like, man, I might have been off there, but you could hear that I did stay in time, and it sort of caught up. But by not hearing 3, it sort of disorients you a little bit. I'll do that one more time. Oh, because what I don't think I'll do there is come up on the and of 3 and then probably come down on 4. It's probably going to be a few ups in a row. We're going to hear some of this, I think. I put in like 3 or 4 ups in a row there until I got near the end of the measure, and then a bunch of strokes to feel like the little constant eighth notes or drum roll effect into the beginning of the next measure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think, as I play through both of those, I think I like the idea of hitting the down on 3 to make sure you're better oriented in finishing out that F to the 6 more beats that you need after you've done the and 2, 3.
Yeah. Okay. Let me. Okay. I'm completely confused. Let's see.
Right. Well, the first one. That's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Get back to the rest of the song. Missed it.
So see if you can just start on those 4 notes. Bom, 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 bom. The 4 notes coming out of the G chord. And now another down. After what you just did, we're ready for the down on 3. The down you just played was the down on 2.
Right. Okay. Oh, that's 2. Yeah. And
Right.
okay. I see. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah. And that added up right. That was the right number of strokes for what happened there.
Yeah. Okay. Let me try that again. Okay.
Hang on. One more thing.
Okay.
There's still a little hesitation on the missing 1. You're this is what we're looking for. Right? Or one more time. And I'm seeing and hearing a little of this. Like a little, so you're not quite following through on that 1 without hesitating.
Yeah, that and that last. Okay.
Right there. Yeah. So that's the down you miss.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Now that looks better. What you just did right there. So there definitely is. You're definitely hesitating right there before the fake down.
Yeah.
But the last right there you weren't. You made it look right.
And the run on G ends is the last note is the and of 4. That's the up.
Right.
Right. And then. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Hang on. Stop there for a second. Let's not go any further than that because right there you got rid of the hesitation. The up down the and 2 on the F major 7 came out perfectly. So this time try to do that again, but then just keep your hand moving. Don't hit the strings anymore. Just keep your metronome going at the same without any contact.
Without any contact. Okay. I mean, hit the up.
Hit the and two, the up and the down on the F major 7, and then just keep moving.
Oh, okay, 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 okay.
Not bad. You know what? You didn't hit the down on the 2. You just hit the up.
Okay.
But you kept moving. That was good. Yeah. And that was great. Right when you came in to play those notes again, I don't know if you were keeping track of where you were, but right where you tried to start it again is where we would have been back on beat 1 at the beginning again. So in other words, the amount of time you moved here was the exact right number of beats, I think.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see here. Um,
Yeah, that was right. And you were right. You were ready to hit it again. Ready to start again.
no, I
That had the hesitation in it again.
yeah, the hesitation.
And there was zero hesitation going into the G. You're doing the G exactly right, all the right moves. When you play that first run, bom 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 bom, you're staying really solid here. Then when you play the 4 notes going into the F, you hesitate. So you're not doing the same thing heading into the F as you are into the G, and they should be the same. The motion of your right hand is
Right.
exactly the same in both those situations.
Right. Right. Okay. Let me see if I can think my way through that. I think I got it then.
You got it. Those 2 were great. Yeah.
No, it was down. Okay.
Yeah. A couple of things about those. So many times you had like 4 or 5 of those in a row that were exactly right.
Yeah.
So that was really good. And when you said you think you got it, you had just done it exactly right twice. So
Yeah.
that was really good. And we don't have to be that specific about what to do on the rest of the F. Many times you did a real consistent pattern that actually sounded great. You did this. you always missed a beat and then went up, down, up, miss, up, down, up, and that kept you like exactly where you needed to be in the measures, and it was real easy for you to tell then when it happened. Now you didn't always do that, and even if you did something a little different, you still always got you could feel now where beat one was again. You knew when to get back to the beginning.
Right.
So anyway, so I think we got that pretty close to fixed,
Yeah. Yeah.
and now we're ready to try the other one again, where and you had that in pretty good shape, and I hope we didn't mess that up now by, because on that one, that next melody note, we have like two extra melody notes, so it starts on an up and then ends on a down, right?
Right.
And then you come in with a solid down on the F.
Yeah.
That time on two. So, and I think what happened the very last time, I think you tried to do that one and then it got a little tangled or something. I
Yeah.
wasn't sure which, but I think our bigger problem is fixing the first one, and now it looks like that's in pretty good shape.
Yeah. The second one, I mean, as long as I just keep it going, and I know
Yeah.
on the up, on the, I know on the up of, let's see, that's the up of, well, let's see, what up is that? It's, that's the up. Well, it's the same as the other one. It's just,
Are you talking about the first note you play in that run?
yeah, yeah. When you play this E right here.
That's not the first note,
Oh,
right?
it's that. It's the D.
Yeah. So
Oh,
this,
that's, let's see. Three, three, no. I'm just trying to figure out where I
that's
am.
good. This is good problem to solve. Keep figuring it out.
Okay. So
No, that was perfect.
okay.
So yeah. So see if you can solve the problem of what is the timing of all those notes in that second run, or when did the first one get hit?
Okay. So it's two, three, four, two.
Okay, is the first note is a down or an up?
Of that run,
Yeah,
the D
yeah.
is an up, so it's on an and.
Okay, so we got it. We got it narrowed down to a few
I
possibilities.
think it's the end of two. I think it's
It is. It
two,
is. It's the end of two.
two,
Oh, so that's
and three and four and
No, no. You have one more note. There's a bass note now on one.
three and four and
Bomb.
oh yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Two and three.
Oh, you're upside down. Careful. Don't forget, the D is an up. I think you just did it upside down. That's it. Right. Right.
Yeah, it's and two and three and four and one.
Yeah.
think that was
Perfect. That was perfect.
okay.
Yeah. Man, you got it.
Okay, so the yeah, and I have to just make sure I'm hitting the right string here with my right hand. But
That, yeah, but the best thing about that one was, again, all the moves were in the right place. Even if you miss hit a string or something, you kept and you kept going. Even if you got the wrong note, it's like you got the next note right. I mean, the whole thing we were just talking about,
yeah,
keeping it musical.
yeah, okay, yeah, musical, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, that's really good. And see, the biggest thing here is now you're keeping your hand moving constantly and never doing those little hesitations. And so to break down the six note run, just one more little tidbit on it. The four note run is three and four and.
right.
This one has an eighth note before and an eighth note after. So it starts
Right.
on the end of two and ends on one. So
Yeah.
it's got one more at the beginning and one more at the end, which is how it fits in. So it still has those four, the down up on three and four
Right.
and then it comes in with the bass note solid on one of the measure of F, the A and the bass.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Right. Right. Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Great. Well, okay. Well, that's I think I can do that.
I think so.
I'll work through that.
Good. Yeah, yeah.
Um, so my hey hey. So
Oh yeah. So once he starts singing, what does he do? What do you do during the verse now? Because he never sings while he's doing that.
right. 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 Okay. So then he goes to the four. I mean, it's basically just four. Nope,
Not
not
yet. A minor first.
here. That didn't. So we're going to work on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so he comes in on. Let's see. Now that I've gone through that, I think he comes in on. Let's see. Let's see. So hey hey ends at the last on the last beat of G.
Well, you know what? None of these all the melody notes start after beat one. Nothing starts on one.
Right.
So when you're singing this,
Okay.
you're gonna hit the A minor first. It's gonna be something
Right.
like this. My, hey, hey. Rock and roll is here to stay. So what beat did each of those lines the vocals start on?
Three.
Right. So both of them started on three. One, two, my, hey, hey. And you're right. You get to hey. You get to the last hey, just a hair before the F chord. So it's like it's not it's even after the and of four on the G. It's just a little bit anticipated.
Okay.
As opposed to this would be right on one, and this will sound clunky. My, hey, hey. Now it didn't sound clunky necessarily, but it wasn't as smooth as this. My, hey, hey. It's a hint. It's a hint
Yeah.
before, and that's a really important thing about vocal phrasing. Is it is usually a hair off of the beats,
Uh-huh.
a little bit before or a little bit after. But in this case, like the first syllable every time is like right on three.
Right.
You know,
Right.
Um, and now when we get rock and roll's here to stay. Now here we need anticipation. Oh no, no. It's better to burn out. So that has a few more syllables in it, but it still comes in after one. Nothing's happening on one, on the C chord.
Right.
It's better to burn out than to fade away. My, hey, hey. And now back to the melody. So usually you'd want to do like two of those between verses.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, on three. Okay. That's hard. That's hard to do from the like a standing start. It's like I have to play the preceding couple measures to know
Ah, yeah.
how it rolls in.
Yeah, yeah.
As opposed, yeah. Okay. Well, maybe I'll.
Yeah, that was it.
Rock and roll's here to stay. Okay, all right.
Yeah, that was it
I'll
though.
work on that. All right.
That was great. Yeah.
That's fun. Okay, so we will. Let's see. Next week is just a regular week.
Should be, yeah. Yeah, we got a couple of weeks of not too much excitement. But will you be up? You'll be heading up like the week after to Grey Eagle?
Yeah. We'll see. See next week. What's today? The
Today's the 2nd, so next week would be the 9th and then the 16th.
second. So the 9th will be here. The 16th